Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and we're going to make a cute little project today, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Alright, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 8 1/4 by 7 1/2, and on the 8 1/4 side you're going to score at 2 3/4 and at 5 1/2. Then you're going to turn it. You're going to score at 2 3/4, 3 1/2, 4 1/4, and at 7. So there's your score lines, and I will have all of these score lines and everything, all the measurements written down on my blog, and that link will be below, and I'll put a little card right up here where you can click on it and go straight to it as well. Alright, you're going to need 2 of these pieces just exactly alike. So this one's 8 1/4. On the 8 1/4 side, I am going to score at 2 3/4. Whoops. 2 3/4. And at 5 1/2. And I'm going to turn it, score at 2 3/4, 3 1/2, 4 1/4, and at 7. So we're going to lay our scoreboard aside for now and work on these pieces. Now on the side that has the 1/2 inch score line, you see this one doesn't. Let's see if you can see. Let's see. Look on this side. So here's your 1/2 inch score line, and here is your big part over here. So on these two, opposite your 1/2 inch score line, on these two blocks, you're going to just take a pencil and your ruler, and from here, this point on the score line to this point score line, you're just going to draw a line. We're just cutting that box in half is what we're doing. So just like that. From that score line right there over. And then you're going to do it on this bottom one the same. So from that score line to that one, just draw a line. There you go. And now from right here's your score lines on this, and I'm going to go ahead and draw them out so that you can kind of see them. Right there's where your score lines meet, there and there. So we're going to take our ruler and our scoring tool, and from where they meet right there, we're going to put our ruler there, put the other end of your ruler right at that point, and then score up to that line that you just drew, just like that. Just up to that line. And do the same thing down here. So just up to that first score line right there. So we've got it on both of these boxes. And we'll go ahead and do it on this one while here's my 1/2 inch score line, so I'm going to do it on these boxes over here. Over here on this side. And you'll see why you draw the line here in just a minute, because we're going to cut that part off. But don't cut it off before you make your score line here, because if you do, you can't make your score line straight. I tried that. Now we are going to do some cutting. So first off, you're going to cut off right at that line that you drew. You're going to cut that part off on both of them. Then you're going to start right, let's see if you can see. Let me draw this. So here's my score line going across here. Then I have another score line right here, and another score line right here. So you can see that. So we're going to start right here at this score line and cut across to this one. Let's see. So all of this stuff, whoops, not that. Don't cut that one off. All of this right here you do not need. So it's this box, and this you do not need. So we're going to cut that away. Leave that one little box right there. So you see we're cutting that out. We're going to go to the other side. Let's see if I turn my lights, if that's going to make a difference in what you can see. Seems awful bright. Alright, cut. Okay, so that is what you should have. You've just made an arrow, basically. So see, you've left this score in there, that little box, and then this, and then here's your top. So you make it look just like that. I'll hold that right there on the screen for a moment if you want to get a shot of it. Now we're just going to cut away some pieces. We're just going to cut in a little bit on that and that. Just give it a little angle. On this score line right there, you're going to cut up. Looks like I did mine a little crooked, so we'll cut it again. And then you're going to notch out on both ends. You're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So notch out and notch out. So that is what you have now. Now we can do some folding. So you're going to fold this first score line right here, you're going to fold it up toward the top of the arrow, as we will call it. You're going to fold the next one down, then the next one up. So you see you made a little M looking thing there, half of an M. And then you can go ahead and fold this little piece right here. It's where your boxes are going to join. And then we'll go ahead and do some folding here. So you're going to fold this score line in. The one that you made, the triangle one, you're going to fold it out. And then you're going to fold this one back in, and making sure that it's even with the side there. So you see what we did? So in and out and in. So we'll do the other side, in, then that little score line that you made, out, and then this one back in. Just like that. So you made some bat wings. Alright, let me trim this off a little bit more right here. Okay, now on this part right here, just fold it back, and you're going to cut this, you're going to wedge these at a pretty big angle. Do about like that. And that is that little fold that you had in the middle there. That little M or whatever. Make sure this is back. You don't want to cut that. So see, that's what we cut off right there. We left, it looks like that now. Put that down so you can get a shot of it if you want to. Now on this part right here, we're going to fold that back under again. And you're going to make a little hole. So you've got that. Now we're going to do the other one the same way, and I'll probably just speed this up and let you watch me cut it. I won't talk through it on this one, and then you can get a good idea of how this is cut. So here's our lines. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put these together and make our little box. So you line them up like that. And on this right here, this little tab, you're going to put some glue. You can use double-sided adhesive. It needs to be something that's strong. Don't use anything that's weak, like a glue stick or something like that. Make sure that it's pretty strong. And you're going to line those up real careful and then press it down. So now you've got something that looks like that. Now I have finally found something that I can use all of those 10,000 rubber bands that we get from our companies on. So you're going to need a rubber band for this. But first we're going to flip it over and we're going to cover these 4 boxes. And I'm just using some scrap paper. You can use anything that you'd like on here. Or you can make this out of design paper and you don't have to cover it at all. It's just up to you. Just needs to be kind of a strong paper, not really weak. You'll see why in a moment. Okay, we got those covered. Now you can flip it over and take your rubber band, and I'm going to leave my rubber bands doubled since these are kind of a thin rubber band. If you have a good thick rubber band, don't worry about it. Just use one thickness. But I'm just going to leave mine doubled, and I'm just going to run it through there and do that first right there. So see, I just ran it through, done that one on that end. And now these little pieces right here, you're going to fold in and kind of hold them down. It's going to be like, kind of like an accordion fold when you get this folded down. And then you're going to make sure that this little piece right here is folded down, and then put these down like that. You kind of have to hold them, and then you're going to lay that top right over on it, making sure that your sides match up. So that's what you have. See, it made just a little half of a box. Alright, and then you're going to go to this end and you're going to put your rubber band through that little hole. You're going to pull it just a little bit until they almost meet when the rubber band is relaxed. See, about like that. And then just tie it off. This is a little fiddly, but It can be done. You can leave that knot in there if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. And then just put this part right here down again, that little flap that that's hooked to down. Fold these in, put your glue right here. Whoops. And then you're going to fold these over. Just making sure that, again, that your sides match up. And then all you're going to do now is just put a little bit of adhesive right here and then glue that together. It's going to make your little pop box. Alright, so just put a little glue there. If you want to use score tape on this, it'll work great. Just be careful when you're lining everything up. Okay, so there's your little cube. And if you fold it down and turn it loose, let's see, there we go. It pops up. So it's a little pop-up cube. I have made another one. This one is made out of my green cardstock. So if you stack them, you've got little cubes popping up everywhere. You could put messages on these. This is my little trial and error one that I made. But you could put little messages on these when they pop up. Now we're going to make the box that they go in so that when they open the box, they'll pop out on them. So for the box, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 7 7/8 by 5 1/8. And you're just going to score at 1 inch all the way around. So 1 inch. Whoops. Go ahead and score the little sleeve that the box goes in. So this is cut at 9 1/8 by 5 7/8. So on the 9 1/8 side, you're going to score at 1 1/8, at 4 3/8, 5 1/2, and at 8 3/4. Whoops, can't score straight today. Ever seen anybody that jumps the line more than I do? Alright, we're going to lay that aside for a minute and go ahead and do our box. So just fold your score lines. And then you're going to cut up on the score line, wedge a little bit. Just wedge out a little bit and then turn it. Cut up. Do a little bit of a wedge. Turn it again. Cut up. Wedge. Turn it the last time. Cut up on the score line. And wedge. Now all you're going to do is put some glue on these 4 little tabs. And then just fold your tab in, meet up your corners like that, and then put your little box together. There you go. There's your little box. Now, if you want to put a little piece of decorative paper in the bottom of this, you can. I'm not going to on this, just because I'm doing this for the demo. But you can definitely put a piece in there. You can even put a little piece on the end to decorate it up. But I am just going to leave that for right now. You can go ahead on your sleeve, do your folding on that. And then all you're going to do on your sleeve is put some glue right here. And then bring this one over and just glue it together. So there is your sleeve. Now we're going to go ahead and cover the top of our sleeve. This piece is cut at 5.5 by 3. So we're going to put that on the top. And then I have a piece of chipboard, and I'm going to use some of the Distress Ink Oxide, and I'm just going to cover my chipboard. I'm going to go straight to the chipboard with the ink pad, and I'm just going to color it that way. See, that covers it very, very pretty. Okay, we're going to put this down on there, just like that. And you could put sentiments on here, whatever you wanted to. This is decorate how you want to. So just kind of center it up. And now I'm going to take some ice stickles, and I'm going to run those all over these hearts. This lets the color come through, but it puts that sparkle on there and that little bit of dimension. So see. Okay, now you're ready to put your little box in there. So there's your box. And if we put our little cubes in there, just flatten them out. I'm going to go ahead and put this one in there too, even though I'm not going to include it since it was my trial and error one. So just put those down in there and close the box up. And then when your recipient gets it, and you could put a little pull right here. Let's do that. Let's put a little pull right here on the end. So just go ahead and I'm just using a hole punch and just put a little pull right there. I just use this little 1/2-inch hole punch. So when your recipient gets it and they pull it out, there's the boxes. They all pop out. So let's try that again. And you could put probably 2 more in here. I think it'll hold 5. I think that is super cute. I'm excited to give it to my grandkids and watch them open it, and the boxes pop everywhere. Alright guys, that is the tutorial for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And when that little bell pops up over there, click on that little bell so that you'll be notified every time that we put up a video. And don't forget about the Made It Con coming in to Fort Worth, Texas. We will be in Fort Worth, Texas with May and a lot of other wonderful artists on March 15th, 16th, and 17th. And we would love to have you there. The link is below to all that information. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.